Hey yo, what's up you guys? So I'm coming to you with another video and we are talking about TikTok. Of course we are. We're talking about a cesspool of leftism that is on TikTok, coming from Chen, talking about her reactions and everything. So, shall we begin? But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Mitch. Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about. So, current events, reviews, pop culture within the scope of entertainment, culture, and purpose. So, TV movie reviews, social political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video.
Well, fast forward to today and you actually have legislation mandating things like proper pronoun usage, and it's become pretty mainstream for people on social media, for example, to list their pronouns in their bios or in their email footers so they can virtue signal about how tolerant they are to the LGBT community, which, if you ask me, is exactly what people like this next person we're gonna see are hoping for.
You may have heard the term preferred pronouns, but pronouns are not preferred, they're mandatory. Pronouns are one of many ways that we can validate and respect other people. When someone tells you their pronoun, the only option is to use it. If you don't know someone's pronouns, ask them, use gender-neutral language, or no pronouns at all. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. If you don't know how to use them, look it up. Practice, use an app, ask a friend. It is not the job of the trans and gender non-conforming folks in your life to teach you.
Okay, so first thing I want to say here is that this individual, it's a man, let's face it, he does not look Gen Z.
Okay, okay, she's gonna say not Gen Z. Okay, so I had a conversation at work, right? And so, like, using they, them pronouns, again, like, we went from things are just super crazy, right? And like, as I get my thoughts together, like, again, it's just so crazy that we're in this situation, right? Well, one, I take issue with, like, now he's like, it's not preferred, it's mandatory. Like, okay, so you want it to be mandatory. It's not like just like, hey, can you do this? Like, you have to do this now. So I think we're going to get crazy here. And then the fact that he's using they, them pronouns, again, it's so dumb, because I was telling that I would have a conversation this at work. Okay, so, and I said this on Facebook with my friend that was promoting they, them pronouns too, but like I said, okay, if we use a analogy, situation, example, whatever, and I was using two people, right? Monica and Chandler, friends, cool. Monica refers to themselves as they, Chandler refers to himself as him, whatever. Okay, so you say in a situation, you're having a conversation, Monica wants chocolate ice cream, Chandler wants vanilla ice cream, and then they come to you and they said they decided they want vanilla ice cream. In that situation, does they now means both of them, or does they refer to the singular Monica, you know? And again, in conversation, it doesn't work out, especially if you're talking about multiple people. And it's also funny, like, we were having a conversation, we were saying, like, I identify as they, but since I'm they, I mean multiple COVID checks. You're like, you only gave it to one of me, you need to give it to all of me. And so, okay, and I'm just getting into, like, barely getting to this video, so I'll hear a little bit more what Lauren has to say, but already it's like crazy that we're in this discussion, having these discussions.
Z, to me, maybe he is, but no, in my opinion, he looks like he's more in his mid-30s at least. Perhaps he is a teenager. It's just that, you know, you don't often hear these progressive types really touting clean living. So who knows, but I think the whole pronoun issue really speaks to how narcissistic younger generations have become. I mean, all of a sudden, it's a stranger's obligation, their duty, to validate your identity and your gender expression. I mean, when on earth have pronouns ever been used to signify that? It doesn't make sense. Dress however you want, I suppose, but it is not my job as someone who does not know you and really isn't interested in respecting you in any way, shape, or form to make you feel better about the fact that, yeah, you are a grown man who for some reason has hair like Phil and Lil from the Rugrats. And also, just gonna put it out there, using they, them to refer to people in the singular, it's just never gonna be grammatically correct. I mean, yeah, these type of people seem to have done a pretty good job bullying English language speakers, but I'm hoping at least, I don't know, the Arabic speakers of the world, Chinese, Russian, some language out there is going to need to put their feet down and say, no, we're not.
Al, that's an excellent point, actually. You know, so we have other people who don't even know English, right? That are like, probably have broken English, and they are learning English, like formal English, whatever, that like non-conversational. So if you had someone who just moved here or visiting, and all of a sudden, and then they're using they're learning our language, which is great. You know, if I were to go to France, I would like to know some French words. But anyway, the fact that visitors are coming here, you know, throughout like Vegas, Disney World, Universal Studios, whatever, like National Park, you know, and they're talking. I don't think you would go to and like they would go to someone that refers to they them, and and mispronoun them. Like, how do they know? Like this, like they're trying to police speech, and it's stupid.
Doing this. But anyway, aside from the issue of gender, which is this huge thing on Gen Z TikTok, something else that comes up a lot is sexuality, because I mean, when you think about it, it makes as much sense as you could expect from the far left, that if there are a infinite number of genders and sexuality is all about what type of gender you are attracted to, then there must also be many, many sexualities out there as well. And like gender, sexuality now has become a way for these young people to label themselves or identify as something special, something unique, something part of the queer umbrella, as you know, this gender ambiguous person explains. I'm really not trying to be too mean with this video, but it's just, they make it hard.
I'm glad to ask. People who identify as abrosexual are fluid with their sexualities.
What?
Like gender fluid, abrosexual friends one day might feel pan, but then the next day they might feel asexual. And a week later they could just be gay. Their sexualities are fluid. Does this mean they're fluid with all the sexualities? Some. Every abrosexual is different. And we love our abrosexual friends!
Whew, that was a lot to take in, but I feel like what's happened with gender is that people have confused personality traits or preferences with gender when they are not in fact the same thing. As a woman, I cannot like to wear dresses, I cannot want to wear makeup, I cannot adhere to gender norms that relate to being a woman. Doesn't mean I am no longer a woman. Or some days I may feel like wearing a dress, some days I might feel like wearing cargo shorts. That does not make me gender fluid, because wardrobe choices are not your gender. And it's funny because so much of this gender ideology, although it claims to be breaking down gender norms, actually reinforces a gender binary by trying to conflate masculine or feminine preferences with gender themselves. But anyway, we see a similar thing here happening with sexuality. Just because your jaw isn't dropping on the floor every single day as, for example, a straight woman, that doesn't mean that on the days where you are less interested romantically or physically in guys that you all of a sudden are asexual for that time period. That's not how it works. I mean, pretty much what this person just expressed is that sometimes they are horny, sometimes they are not, but that doesn't make your sexuality fluid. And there was also this previous TikTok video that tried to describe only wanting to, you know, physically interact with people of the opposite sex, not gender but sex, as simply people having a breeding kink, but that's not part of sexuality. It's like literally, if you go to a pride parade now, they are trying to say that every kink, such as leather or furries or whatever, is its own sexuality. And it's just like, wow, there's just zero coherence with these people. It's kind of confusing. And another thing that TikTok is known for, and not just political TikTok, just TikTok in general, is people dancing and singing. It's actually a kind of a fun thing. There are a lot of just wholesome, good videos on TikTok that have nothing to do with this regressive lunacy. I don't want to badmouth the platform in its entirety, even though it is controlled by the Chinese state and is probably being used to data mine people. But in any case, what we see on TikTok is that like this gender circle or sphere of things has also adopted that singing and dancing on the platform. to very unfortunate results.
I am proof I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
I don't have much groundbreaking commentary to this one, but I just find it interesting how if you look at so many of these people, it's true, they don't fit, you know, the norm of what would be considered traditionally beautiful. And I think for some of those people, their preference for this ideology stems from the fact that, no, as a man, they do not look like traditionally what women would want, or as a woman, they do not look like what traditionally men would want. And so I feel their embrace of this gender ideology is almost a way to, I don't really know how to explain it, but to cope with the fact that if they were participating in a heteronormative society, they may have a harder time finding a partner. Basically what I'm trying to say is that perhaps all these different genders and sexualities are a cope for ugly people. I don't know.
I just think that's funny, real quick, because she did the whole like, but you said it, but you were thinking it, the whole deal. And so, yeah, I definitely agree there. I mean, like, it goes to show, because obviously if you are in this camp of gender weirdness and everything that is other, if other people, they should be called other people. I mean, if you are with other people, you have a little community versus someone who is quote unquote normal. Like, it does make sense, right? I mean, like, if you can't fit into quote unquote where other people are having, I guess, normalcy, but like, you just have to fill in with that, like, outskirts of the people, the Morlocks of the society, I guess. And so, yeah.
That may be, but I feel like, especially looking at Antifa mugshots, I'm kind of on the right track here, but also you may have the inclination to just brush these people off as random weirdos on the internet. But don't forget, even though a lot of these people are younger, they're going to be voting age pretty soon. I mean, we already see the left trying to lower the voting age until 16. Their voices matter. They are going to enter the workforce and have jobs. These people might be your HR department one day, and that should concern you. And this type of thing is exactly what happens when conservatives forget the culture war for, I mean, pretty much generations. It's taken over by the left, and all of a sudden you have TV shows featuring drag queen story hour. It's like, yeah, this is what you get, but the left is so adept at actually using this to their advantage. And case in point, recently the Biden administration also collaborated with some TikToker. I don't know who this person is, but apparently they have a following on TikTok in order to promote, it's either the jab or just Biden in general. I don't even know, but I mean, here's the video.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey everyone, Vogue.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey Jenny, I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative.
We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
America is not a serious country. It's...
Alright, there's just a few more minutes in that video, but I just want to touch upon that. But it's kind of cool because actually, initially before this video, I wanted to do that video of the White House intern and everything. But it wasn't enough, right? And what I wanted to touch on about that, and I'll just leave this video on that note, is like, it's a joke, right? That this is a joke, right? This is this is cringe. This is whatever. It's one thing to be yes queen, but it was another thing to be just taking your job not seriously. Like, yeah, notes here and yes queen, yeah, up here and everything, and you're like Vogue and everything. Is this what they think is appealing for someone like it, like supposedly representing the White House? Like, how is this how is this professional? Like, I can see how like Elle Woods wearing pink in the White House is unorthodox, but she got the job done. This guy was tripping over papers, talking on his phone, not being really serious. and everything. And so, like, how is this a thing, you know? And it just, we're living in the Hunger Games. Like, this is straight up living in the Capitol. Like, this is that crazy that we got here that far, right? And we're gone. Like, okay, so closing thoughts, if anything, it's that, you know, for my channel and for those who are on the side of Lauren Chen and the conservative and even moderate, like, this is too much, right? Like all of this is too crazy and it's not gonna work. Like, people, like, they talk about like mental issues and all this stuff. You're like, yeah, like, because you guys promote all of this like nonsense rhetoric. But the point is, for my channel and for those like me being conservative voices in this, and just more or less people just sane at this point, is just navigating the chaos, right? And so, like, I have like a personal ministry about this, like, it's Kairos over chaos, in which you are, well, it's more Jesus oriented, but like, if anything, just like Jordan Peterson, navigating chaos, right? Navigating this woke ideology, navigating this, like, all of this leftist rhetoric and progressive ideology that is Marxist in nature, but self-destructive in general. Like, it doesn't have to be Marxist if that's too esoteric, it's just self-destructive. And so I'll just leave it there, and thank you for watching. Comment below, tell me what you think, how far have we gone, and see you in the next video. You can follow me on my Instagram, hey Mitch. I'll probably make a TikTok just to be in the culture war, fighting on the front lines, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.